The death of Ramana Maharshi was not a tragedy. It was not even an ending. It was like watching a candle quietly merge into the sunlight of morning. It happened in the year 1950, in a small ashram at the foot of a mountain in southern India. For nearly 50 years, Ramana had lived there in silence, surrounded by people who came from all over the world just to sit in his presence. He spoke little, but those who met him said they felt something beyond words, a peace that could quiet the mind instantly. To understand his death, one must understand the way he lived. When he was only 16, something remarkable happened. One day, he felt a sudden fear of death. Instead of running away from it, he decided to face it completely. He lay down and imagined his body dead. Then he asked himself, if this body dies, what is it that still exists? What is it that is aware of death? In that moment, he realized that what he truly was could never die. He was not the body, not the mind, but the silent awareness behind them. From that day onward, he lived in that awareness, calm, clear, and free. He left his family home and went to a quiet mountain village, where he stayed for the rest of his life. People found him there, sitting quietly, sometimes in a cave, sometimes under a tree. He never tried to teach anyone, yet his silence became a teaching. Those who sat near him said that even their deepest questions faded away. When people asked for guidance, he would answer softly, "Ask yourself, who am I?" Keep turning your attention inward. When the false disappears, the truth will shine by itself. Years passed. A small community grew around him. The mountain became a place of stillness and peace. Visitors included scientists, poets, philosophers, and ordinary people, all drawn by something they could not explain. By the late 1940s, Ramana's body began to show signs of illness. A small lump appeared on his arm. Doctors said it was cancer. They performed surgery, and for a while he seemed fine. But the tumor came back, larger and more painful. When the doctors suggested another operation, he agreed without hesitation. He said, "Let them do what they think is right." Even when the pain was strong, he never complained. He said quietly, "The body is suffering. Let it suffer. I am not the body." More operations followed. The wound would not heal. The doctors tried every method available at that time, even radiation treatments, but the illness continued to grow. His followers were deeply worried. They asked him to use his spiritual power to heal himself. He smiled and said, "Why all this concern? They say I'm going away, but where can I go? I'm always here." Even when he was weak, he refused to stop seeing visitors. People came every day to his small room to receive his blessing. He sat quietly, eyes filled with kindness, his face glowing with peace. By the spring of 1950, it was clear that his time was near. He could no longer walk without help. His breathing was shallow, but his calmness remained untouched. He would sometimes close his eyes, and an unspoken stillness would fill the whole room. On the evening of April 14th, the doctors told the devotees that he would not live through the night. Hundreds of people gathered outside his room. Some prayed softly, others simply sat in silence. Inside, a few close attendants watched over him. The light of the setting sun entered the room, falling gently on his face. He looked peaceful, almost smiling. As his breathing slowed, something extraordinary happened. A bright star-like light appeared in the sky, moving slowly above the mountain near the ashram. Many saw it. It glowed brightly, crossed the sky, and disappeared beyond the mountain. At that exact moment, Ramana took his final breath. There was no struggle, no fear, only a deep stillness. Those who were present said that the air itself became silent. Even the birds stopped singing. The atmosphere was charged with something sacred, as if the invisible had become visible for a few moments. His face remained calm, shining with an inner radiance. The doctors confirmed that his heart had stopped. Yet those in the room said they could still feel his presence, vast, gentle, and beyond death. The next day, his body was carried out for burial within the ashram grounds. People walked in silence. There were no loud rituals, no ceremonies, only the quiet rhythm of devotion. When the body was placed in the earth, many felt that nothing had ended. The same peace that had surrounded him in life seemed to remain in the air, stronger than ever. Ramana had often said, "You are not the body. You are not even the mind. You are the awareness in which both appear and disappear." His death was the final proof of that truth. He had already died to the idea of I long ago. When the physical body fell away, nothing essential was lost. Years later, people continued to visit the same ashram. They sat quietly in the meditation hall where he once sat, and they said that the silence was still alive, a silence that does not belong to any one person, a silence that lives in everyone who turns inward. For those who understand, the death of Ramana Maharshi was not death at all. It was the moment when form disappeared into formlessness. The man known to the world as Ramana dissolved into the same pure awareness that lives within us all. He had said, "The real self is never born and it never dies." That truth became clear on that April night. The body perished, but the light that shone through him remains, not on the mountain, not in a temple, but in every heart that dares to look within. Ramana's departure reminds us what it means to live in freedom, to live without clinging, without fear, without the constant need to hold on. He showed that life and death are not opposites. They're movements of the same eternal presence. The wave rises and falls, but the ocean remains. Even today, when people read his words or look at his photograph, something of that peace is felt. It is not a memory, it is a living silence. The same awareness that looked through his eyes is looking through yours right now. It was never born and will never die. So although the world marks his passing as April 14th, 1950, the truth is that Ramana Maharshi did not die. He simply returned to where he had always been, the stillness beyond all beginnings and endings.